North Korea, officially the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, remains an enigma. Shrouded in secrecy, it is a country seemingly frozen in time. The nation grapples with a complex web of political isolation, economic hardship, and social control. The Democratic People's Republic of Korea is a country located on the northern half of the Korean peninsula in East Asia. To the north and northwest are Russia and China, with South Korea to the south. To the west are the Yellow Sea and the Korea Bay, and to the east lies Japan across the Sea of Japan. Its capital, Pyongyang, projects an image of order and stability, yet beyond the facade lies a reality far more complicated. Understanding North Korea requires delving into its turbulent past and examining the factors that have shaped its present. North Korea's history is deeply intertwined with the legacy of its founder Kim Il-sung. Kim, a revered figure in North Korea, instilled a unique ideology known as Juche. This ideology, centered on self-reliance, has shaped North Korea's worldview and its relationship with the outside world. Juche promotes the idea that man is the master of his destiny and emphasizes national self-sufficiency. Kim Il-sung's leadership, marked by a cult of personality, laid the foundation for a highly centralized and authoritarian state. This system has continued through subsequent leaders Kim Jong-il and the current supreme leader Kim Jong-un. Under Kim Il-sung's rule, North Korea underwent significant industrialization. However, it also faced economic challenges and increasing isolation due to its pursuit of nuclear weapons. Following Kim Il-sung's death in 1994, his son Kim Jong-il assumed power. Kim Jong-il continued his father's policies, further developing North Korea's military capabilities, including its nuclear program. His rule was marked by a devastating famine in the 1990s, known as the Arduous March, which resulted in the deaths of hundreds of thousands of North Koreans. Politically, North Korea operates as a single-party state under the control of the Workers' Party of Korea. The Workers' Party of Korea exerts significant influence over all aspects of life, from politics and economics to culture and education. The government maintains strict control over information, limiting citizens' access to the outside world. This control is reinforced through pervasive surveillance and a system of informants. The government also enforces strict social norms and punishes dissent. Kim Jong-un assumed leadership in 2011 following the death of his father, Kim Jong-il. He has overseen a period of intensified international tension due to North Korea's continued development of nuclear weapons and ballistic missiles. Kim Jong-un has also sought to improve the country's economy, but progress has been limited. North Korea's political system is built on a foundation of ideology and control. This system has profound implications for the lives of its citizens, shaping their everyday experiences and limiting their freedoms. North Korea's pursuit of nuclear weapons has led to international condemnation and sanctions. The country has faced numerous United Nations Security Council resolutions aimed at curbing its nuclear and ballistic missile programs. These sanctions have had a significant impact on the North Korean economy, limiting its ability to trade and access international markets. The sanctions, while intended to pressure the North Korean government, have also had unintended consequences for ordinary citizens. They have exacerbated existing economic hardships, making it even more challenging for people to access basic goods and services. Despite the sanctions, North Korea has continued to prioritize its military ambitions. The country has conducted numerous nuclear and missile tests, raising concerns about regional and global security. The international community remains divided on how to effectively address the North Korean nuclear issue. North Korea's isolation has also led to strained diplomatic relations with many countries. However, there have been efforts to engage in dialogue and find a peaceful resolution to the nuclear crisis. Section 5. A closed economy. North Korea's economy has been significantly impacted by its political isolation and the international sanctions imposed upon it. The country faces chronic shortages of essential goods, including food, medicine, and fuel. While the government has implemented some market-oriented reforms in recent years, the economy remains heavily centralized and inefficient. The agricultural sector struggles to meet the needs of the population, and industrial output is limited. Despite these challenges, North Korea has shown a remarkable ability to adapt and survive. It has developed informal markets and smuggling networks to circumvent sanctions and obtain essential goods. However, these activities come with risks. as the government cracks down on such activities. North Korea's economic situation poses significant challenges for its citizens. Access to basic necessities is limited, and living standards remain low. The government's economic policies prioritize self-reliance, but this has come at a cost. For the vast majority of North Koreans, life is a daily struggle. The country's strict social controls and economic hardships have a profound impact on their everyday lives. Access to education and healthcare is limited, and freedom of movement is restricted. The government's pervasive propaganda shapes people's perceptions of the outside world, fostering an environment of fear and mistrust. Citizens are taught to revere their leaders and to be wary of foreign influence. Expressing dissenting views is dangerous and can result in severe punishment. Despite the challenges they face, North Koreans have shown resilience and resourcefulness. They have developed coping mechanisms to navigate the complexities of life under a repressive regime, relying on informal networks and bartering systems. However, the human cost of North Korea's political and economic system is undeniable. The country's human rights record remains abysmal, with reports of widespread abuses, including torture, forced labor, and arbitrary detention. One of the most striking aspects of North Korea is its isolation from the outside world. The government severely restricts its citizens' access to information, limiting their exposure to different cultures and perspectives. This isolation is reinforced through strict controls on travel and communication. North Koreans have limited access to the internet and international phone calls. Those who do have access are typically subject to government monitoring. The government also controls the media, ensuring that only state-approved news and information reach the public. This isolation has created a stark information gap between North Korea and the rest of the world. It has also made it difficult for outsiders to gain an accurate understanding of the situation inside the country. The lack of access to information has profound implications for North Koreans, limiting their opportunities for personal growth and development. It also makes it challenging to foster understanding and build bridges with the outside world. Predicting North Korea's future is a complex and uncertain endeavor. The country faces a multitude of challenges, from its nuclear ambitions and international isolation, to its economic woes and human rights record. The Kim Jong-un regime has shown no indication of abandoning its nuclear weapons program, which it sees as essential to its survival. This stance continues to create tensions with the international community, particularly with the United States and its allies. The economic situation in North Korea remains precarious, with sanctions continuing to bite. While there have been some attempts at economic reform, it is unclear whether these will be sufficient to address the country's deep-seated structural problems. The human rights situation in North Korea continues to be a source of grave concern. Despite international pressure, the government has shown little willingness to address its human rights record or to allow greater scrutiny of its domestic affairs. The Korean Peninsula exists in a state of uneasy peace. The armistice that ended the Korean War in 1953 has never been replaced with a peace treaty, leaving the two Koreas technically still at war. The heavily fortified border between North and South Korea, known as the Demilitarized Zone, serves as a constant reminder of the divisions that persist. Despite sporadic attempts at dialogue and reconciliation, relations between the two Koreas remain tense and unpredictable. The international community plays a critical role in managing the delicate security situation on the Korean Peninsula. The United States maintains a significant military presence in South Korea as a deterrent against North Korean aggression. Finding a lasting solution to the North Korean nuclear issue and achieving a peaceful reunification of the Korean Peninsula remain elusive goals. The path forward is fraught with challenges, requiring diplomacy, patience, and a willingness to engage with a complex and often unpredictable adversary.